Welcome to Gaming Insurrection's NES Game Atlas feature. I am Gaming Insurrection Editor-in-Chief, Lyndsey Beatty, and I'm doing a react video to one of the games that was featured in the NES Game Atlas. And in this case, it's going to be Ninja Gaiden. That is one of my favorite hack and slash, hop and bop retro games, and it is super fun and I love it. And so I was so glad that it was included in the NES Game Atlas that was published in 1990 by Nintendo Power and their fledgling at the time publication business. So we're gonna do a very short react video to it, and just go through like the first stage and talk about stuff that what's going on with the game, and little fun tidbits, history, that sort of thing. So we're gonna get started now. So I love the intro to this. The intro to Ninja Gaiden is like ridiculous. It is so good. And always the Tecmo Presents 1989. There was also a sound test that you could do at the intro. I never knew that until I was an adult. I don't know who these dudes are that you fight either, but I've kind of sort of memorized this intro stage because I've done it so much. I got the game as a 8-year-old, 9-year-old. I think I was 8. And my sibling brought it home, and because he was in boot camp and the guys used to like to play it. So I got to play it for like a whole summer or so. I also am playing with codes, by the way. So I'm running through this first stage. I'm guessing this is the streets of New York. Looks a lot like the streets of New York. The little dogs get me every single time. They either dogs or they're cats. I never quite figured out what they were. I think they might be cats, actually. I've always said they're dogs, but I'm like, maybe they're cats. I don't know. But I'm playing with codes too, so where I take no damage. Which Ninja Gaiden, you have to. Man, at some point you're gonna probably play with codes, because Ninja Gaiden's hard. It is extremely hard. So yeah, I'm running through this first stage. Yeah, there's a boxer dude. Looks a lot like Balrog. So now I'm at the end boss for the first stage, and I got to very quickly. Remember having to learn to do this, and do it well, and do it quickly, because time is running out. So yeah, I took out the boss really fast. So that was Ninja Gaiden. So yeah, it's one of my favorite games. It's definitely hard. It's one of those hard early retro games that taught you how to do certain things that was going to serve you well way later, when you played other game series. If you played video games extensively, you learned, hey, learn to expect punishing difficulty and respawning enemies constantly. So, and keep moving, because that's the whole name of the game when you've got a time limit. So, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll be back with more videos for this feature. We are covering all 18 games in the NES Game Atlas, so we're going to have react videos for all of them. So I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the NES Game Atlas features video for Gaming Insurrection, issue 42. This is Editor-in-Chief Lyndsey Beatty, and I am reviewing and or reacting to NES Game Atlas games. These are games that were featured in the NES Game Atlas that was published in 1990. So they're all NES games that were super popular at the time. And they were really good games. Most of them. They're pretty good games. In this one, we're going to do Ninja Gaiden 2, the sequel to Ninja Gaiden, of course, which is Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos. I've only really played this maybe a couple of times. I didn't play it nearly as much as, say, the first Ninja Gaiden. I had gotten that and played that extensively. But I did not have Ninja Gaiden 2. So, yeah, I was an adult by the time I actually played the sequel, and Ancient Ship of Doom, Ninja Gaiden 3. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll do that. But I'll at least give it a try. But for our purposes here, Ninja Gaiden 2 and Ninja Gaiden 1 are featured in the NES Game Atlas guide. So those are the games that we're going to cover, and in this one we're doing the sequel. So we're going to get started. This one came out in 1990, which was really cool. It was only a year later for us. This was kind of hard because I don't know the level layout and I don't know how it works. So I had to run through it a couple of times. I'm also using codes too. Yeah, I'm using codes where I take no damage, which is great because these bats are like trying to kill me, and these guys, I don't know what they are. Ninja dudes are like climbing all over the place. I'm walking really slow. So, I liked some of the improvements that they made in Ninja Gaiden 2, where, instead of, like, you could climb up and you could also, while you were climbing, you could, like, actually attack while climbing. That was a thing in the first one. You couldn't do that. So, yeah. And I think I did have a little bit of exposure to Ninja Gaiden 2 even before I was an adult. Because I had rented the Ninja Gaiden trilogy. And so, those for the Super NES. And it has all 3 games in it. It's not a very good port. I don't like what they did to the music. Ninja Gaiden had an excellent soundtrack, and I'm trying to figure out why they decided to remake the soundtrack. It didn't need to be remade. It was excellent the way it was. So it's one of those, I would consider it an 8-bit masterpiece. So yeah, I'm not sure why they did that. And then of course now I have 2 ninja shadows, which I'm not quite sure what the point of the ninja shadows are. I know that they attack also while you're attacking because they're mimicking your movements, but my ninja shadows didn't necessarily do exactly what I wanted them to do. It was, I don't know, they were weird. they were kind of not helpful at certain points. Like, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I need y'all to attack the people behind me. So now I'm at the first boss, who is a lot like the first boss in the first game. But note that with the shadows, though, I was doing way more damage. So I beat him. And I probably wouldn't have died if I didn't have the code on. I wouldn't have died against that boss. But I noticed that the first boss also, he hits the wall, because that was the trick in the first level of the first game, was that once you got to that boss, you jumped on the wall, and you kind of leaped over him to get on his other side, because you're faster than he is, obviously. But here, the boss runs and hits the wall to make you drop, so you're going to take the hit against him if you don't jump off the wall before he gets over there. So yeah, I noticed a few different things. I did like I like his increased abilities. I like Ryu's increased abilities, his new ninja arts. I liked all of that stuff in the sequel. I thought it was actually very good, and the soundtrack's very good too. So yeah, I was very impressed with the sequel. So I'll probably play it a little bit more, get a little bit further into it, just because I'm so used to reading about it in the guide, but never actually like playing it until I was a little bit older. But yeah, I think I will. I'm gonna stay away from the Super Nintendo trilogy remakes though, because terrible idea. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll be back with more features videos.